Listen, there's an agenda, and there's going to keep on being an agenda. That's why there's a part of me that doesn't want Ole to come back. Because I know this. Because I know as soon as he comes back, they're going to be treating him like he's Ferguson. If he doesn't win 10 games in a row, he's fucked. And he ain't going to win 10 games in a row. These players ain't good enough. Even if he wins 10 games in a row, do you know what they're going to say? Yeah, but they didn't win convincingly. Yeah, but like he's not the long-term guy going forward. Doesn't matter. When you have an agenda, when you're biased, you will find anything to support your argument. You know what, yeah? I'm actually sick and tired of these pundits, bruv. These agenda-driven pundits. Yeah. I'm talking about all of these football pundits. They have an agenda now. And I'm going to explain to you and just show you a clear examples of how things were different before a certain man got sacked. And now, all of a sudden, before even a manager has even got the job, they're already counting him out. They're making excuses. They're just chatting a bunch of rubbish. We need to talk about Tim Sherwood. Absolute donut, yeah? Failed manager. Only claim to fame is he gave Harry Kane his debut. That's it. No one cares that you won a Premier League with Blackburn. Yeah, you got sacked everywhere you've been. To be fair to him, he's probably got one of the best post-match interviews of all time when he was at Tottenham and he got slapped silly. He's talking about Sesko, talking about, oh, he's not fit to wear the United shirt. He's not good enough to wear the United shirt, right? That was at half-time. Second half, what happens? Sesko gets a brace and look at the tone switch. Just check this out.
I think the positive is Šeško scoring. You know, he's scoring 2 goals. Hopefully, he gets some confidence from that. He's took 6 months to turn up at Man United. I'm pleased for the lad. You know, he's had a tough run of it. I had him off the pitch at half time.
He's not pleased for the lad. He's not pleased for the lad. You wanted him to get off half time. He doesn't like Sesko. He doesn't like the cut of his jib. Yeah, if you know what I'm trying to say, you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, because he doesn't represent who he wants to play for Manchester United Football Club. Yeah, because if this was other man playing for Manchester United Football Club, he would not be talking like this. They would be giving him so much grace and all that. But cool.
Never to wear a Man United shirt again.
I wasn't going to remind you, Tim. I wasn't going to tell you that.
No, yeah. Listen, I stand by what I'm saying. He's not good enough to play for Man United. You know,
but he looked it. If he plays at that level, surely.
Yeah, no. He's turned up. He's turned up for one game against Burnley, who are going to get relegated.
See, you see what I'm saying? He's turned up for one game against Burnley that's going to get relegated. It doesn't matter what Sesko does from this point forward. He's finished. He's not going to be in the good graces of Tim Sherwood. Not that he has to be. Because he's already made his mind up. He's not good enough for Manchester United. Even though he just scored the brace, he's not good enough because he turned up once in 6 months. First of all, he's been injured. You know what I mean? He's been injured and we've had a crap manager who's not been playing to his best of his strengths. He's barely started loads of games. They're acting like he started so many games playing 90-minute matches and he's just been snatching at chances, this and that. No, bruv. If you're watching the game with your eyes, you know that Sesko has actually been playing alright. Despite him not scoring, there's things there. There's tangible things there that you can be like, he's a good player. As long as he gets his confidence. I'm hoping from yesterday's game he got confidence because it looked like it. As soon as he scored the first goal, it kind of felt like, okay, he was on it. Then he got the second and all of a sudden, that's football. Strikers thrive off confidence. It's 90% confidence, to be honest. 10% skill. If you don't have confidence as a striker, you ain't scoring. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are.
Look, fair play to him. You know, hopefully he gets some confidence and we start seeing something different for him. I put him in my fantasy team now.
Yeah, see, now they're trying to make a joke out of it. I'll put him in the fantasy team and all that jazz. Listen, this is why, yeah, you can't take these men seriously when it comes to Manchester United Football Club. These pundits have a clear agenda. And you know what? That agenda has changed very recently. Because when we had Amorim, yeah, talksport, all these other pundits were giving him excuses. I was playing free at the back. He doesn't have his players. He's trying to change the culture. Blah, 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 blah. All of these excuses. The guy was getting 1 win a month. Once a month, bro. That's like a woman's period, bruv. That was Manchester United under Amorim. Once a month. Just excuse after excuse. Now we're linked to Ole and Carrick and Fletcher. And all of a sudden, United should have the highest standards now. I see the fan base talking about like Fletcher has higher standards than Amorim. Amorim has been there for 14 months. You've man made a bag of excuses, and he still had lower expectations than a guy that literally just walked in to do an interim job, two dating, and you man expecting all of a sudden we should be doing this, we should be doing that. That doesn't make no sense. That means you got an agenda. Yeah, you got an agenda. Doesn't matter if the facts are the facts. You will say what you need to say because that's what you believe and you're not going to change on it. That's an agenda. That's a narrative. Let's get to talk shite, yeah, because that's what they do, yeah. Because I've been watching talksport and I see the way they talk about Manchester United. I see it, yeah. I see the way they were talking about Ten Hag and even Amorim, and it was just a bag of excuses, even though they were both shit. Amorim more so than Ten Hag. But all of a sudden, it's laughable to get Ole back. He was one of the worst managers. You know what? Let me just play the video.
Simon, then Ole coming back.
Sure, they could do a lot worse. They could obviously do a lot better as well, I suspect. I mean, this is a guy they fired and paid 10 million to go out the door. Replaced him with Ralph Rangnick and paid him 14 million to go out the door 6 months later. What are they doing at this football?
Oh yeah, what did Ralph Rangnick do when supposedly the best squad we've had in years and Ole was holding these players back? What did Ralph Rangnick do when he took over? Oh yeah, he finished 7th and everyone wanted to bin the players and he wanted to do open heart surgery. Okay, continue.
Football club. What kind of decisions are they making? I mean, I'm sure he's a fabulous fellow. I'm sure that he's the most pleasant fellow you could ever come across, but the leader he's not.
First of all, you don't know that, number one. And number two, you don't need a leader now. You just need someone that's going to see out the next 6 months. No one's saying that Ole's going to get the job. No one's saying he's going to be a full-time manager. But these men are already on there like, oh, he can't be the Manchester United manager. We should have a manager that gets wins once a month. That's good. That's great. That's great for us. They don't want us to be good, bro. That's what I realized. They don't want us to be good. They don't care. They were laughing at us. They were like, oh, they were throwing pity at us. We lost the Europa League final. They were like, they were laughing at us. Come on, man.
And I do believe emphatically that despite the fact that you can point to some of the successes he had during a period of time, which might have been a hangover from the fact that Man United was still a contender at that time.
First of all, we was not a contender at any time post-Ferguson. Van Gaal never got near to winning the title. Jose was the only one and he got second, and that second was a fluke. If you lot saw that season, bruv, we should have finished like 5th or 6th. De Gea was on a superhuman thing. We got 81 points. We was 19 points off Man City. Leave it. Anyone who was there knew that, yeah, we won games, but it wasn't spectacular. There was still a lot of negativity around the team, parking the bus, this, that, and the third. Obviously, I would take that team back now because I like Jose, right? But a lot of the fan base didn't because he didn't represent what Manchester United is, right? But they're talking about how it's like Ole inherited Ferguson's team when in reality, Moyes got a 7th, Van Gaal got his 4th and 5th, Jose got a 6th and 2nd, and then Ole took that same group of players, actually sold some players, got given Maguire, Wan-Bissaka and Dan James and finished 3rd when Bruno came in January. 3rd. Yeah? 3rd. What am I talking about? He got the best out of Rashford, Martial, Pogba. We saw the best of every single player. It is what it is. It is what it is. Fact.
I do believe there's logic in bringing back someone associated with the club, because one thing United need right now is the fans to be on board.
Why don't you get Roy Keane in?
I said, how did you know I was going to, on Monday night, I said,
they can't be serious. Roy Keane? Roy Keane? Are they taking a piss? Roy Keane? Why Roy Keane? Because he's a leader, because he says the truth. Brother, the guy hasn't managed a team since 2011. What are you talking about?
Carrick would be more sensible than Solskjaer. Managerial experience.
This is the problem. How the hell is Carrick more sensible than Solskjaer? Like, Carrick didn't do wonders at Middlesbrough. He still got sacked. And I like Carrick, innit? Loved him as a player. Would happily take him back. But you can't say Carrick over Solskjaer because Carrick was part of this team that when Solskjaer was there. So if one failed, then you have to say that guy failed as well, right? And apparently, him and McKenna were the coaches. So they were more responsible for the football. And Ole was more a case of an overseer and he was a manager of the team and all that stuff. So you can't say Carrick more than Ole. It doesn't make any sense. They were part of the same team. But anyway, cool. Let the agenda's agenda.
Keane would galvanise.
No, he
And
wouldn't.
it's a temporary. It's not so. And he's
He
got
wouldn't be phoning Alex Ferguson for advice, I can assure you.
Well, that's why they wouldn't go to Keane, I don't think, because the Fergie thing.
Keane wouldn't galvanize shit, bruv. Trust me. He wouldn't. He wouldn't. I don't understand what these people, bruv. Just because he's on Sky Sports and he just looks like he's just pissed off all the time, bro. Those players won't respond to him, man. They'll be like, man, move, man, get out of here, man.
Did Solskjaer fail?
Yes.
When you look at the ones who came and went, and
He did better than a lot of the others.
Ten Hag left the building.
He did better than a lot of the others. See, like Jim White is even trying to fight those. Obviously, he's playing devil's advocate, but it's like he did better than the others. See, if you said he's the most inexperienced manager and he done better than the others, then why are you guys so harsh on him? If anything, you should give him more grace. You should give more expectation on more experienced managers. But why is it the other way around? What is it about Ole that they don't like? Is it his face, bruv? Did Ole bang your girl? Like, I don't understand. What is it that you, man, just don't like this guy? I don't understand it. I really don't.
Mourinho. What did he get up to? Van Gaal. What did he get up to?
But they won things, and
They all won a
Man United were
trophy.
closer. Man United were
Solskjaer got
closer.
them second.
I know, and
United was never closer. We never looked like we was going to win the league under Jose. Never. And he spent bare money. And this is Jose Mourinho, one of the best managers. Sixth, first season. What are you talking about? Second season, cool, we got second, like I said. But 19 points off Man City. What are we talking about? Jose Mourinho didn't come in to win the League Cup and Europa League. He didn't come in for that. He come in to win the league, right? Second season, Jose always wins this, always wins that. That didn't happen. Let's not change the narrative. That was the narrative at the time. It was supposed to be Pep and Jose, and it become Pep and Klopp, and Jose got dashed. Like, allow it. I don't want to hear it.
And that's what you'll point to at one particular time. But the decline post that. But Solskjaer picked up other people's team. Solskjaer got the job because Marcus Rashford scored a goal against PSG.
Simon, back-to-back top four.
That's rubbish. Marcus Rashford scored the goal because Ole was the only guy that believed that we could beat PSG when no one else did. Mountains were there to be climbed, and we climbed Mount Everest, bruv. The guy went on the maddest win streak I've ever seen in my life. 75% win rate as an interim manager. Man talking about he just got the job because of one game. Are you crazy? See, this is why I can't take these men seriously, because they chat rubbish, but they got huge platforms. They influence people that don't know what's going on, and they piss people like me off.
At a different time. And the decline post, I think the legacy of Solskjaer is the decline that's been seeded and the opportunities that other managers have had to inherit. I think that Ten Hag would have been a better manager.
Have you
if
got
he'd
something
been
against
handed
Ole?
No,
Yeah.
no, I've got
The sole reason of
See, how could you say that the decline post Ole is Ole's fault? So it's not Ten Hag's fault, and it's not Amarim's fault. It ain't Ralph Ragnick's fault. It's Ole's fault. But hold on a second. Why was Ole getting better out of these players than these managers? That's number one. Why is it that when Ten Hag, he did well with the Ole's players, won the cup, but he added to it. As soon as he tried to do his thing, what happened? Finished 8th. Crap. Yeah, 3-1-6 Steve Austin formation. Amarim inherited that. Amarim's even worse than Ten Hag. What are we talking about? That's like saying, it's because of Ferguson that we're crap. Because he left them crap. Because after Ferguson, we declined. So you're blaming Ferguson and not the people that took over. That makes no sense, bruv. No sense.
you're harder on him than you are with any of the others in this conversation.
I slaughtered Ten Hag. I was the first person to say when that suit don't fit him, and I got ridiculed for it.
No, you didn't. You didn't slaughter Ten Hag the way you slaughter Ole. Yeah? You didn't. You talked about his suit and that's it. That's it. Oh, it doesn't look like the suit fits him. Amarim, oh my God, he was praising him. There's videos of him praising him. I can't do it. I can't do it. You see, that's the problem, innit? I can't do it. Because these people, they have their agenda. You know what I mean? Whether it's Tim Sherwood, whether it's Danny Murphy, whether it's some... And do you know what? Majority of the time, I don't actually mind what they say, but it's clear to me that when we had Amarim in charge, they weren't on this United needs to do this, United needs to do that. They were like, oh yeah, well, he needs his players and his threat at the back system. As soon as Ole's getting linked to the job, it's like, what's the point? He's a failure, he's a bum, he's this, he's that, and the third. Bruv, he ain't even got the job. He ain't even got it yet. But this is why, man, United fans need to understand what the hell is going on. They need to understand, look at the tone switch, look at the messaging. It's different now. When we had Amarim, no one gave a fuck. They were like, bruv, you man are crap. So crap, I don't care no more. That's how talksport was. They were praising him. They were praising him. He lost the Europa League final to Tottenham. Yeah, Ole lost the final, penalty kick to Villarreal, to Unai Emery, the king of Europa League. It's a penalty kick. It's a small margin. The Tottenham game was the worst game I've ever seen in my life. And it was 17th. Tottenham. When did Tottenham win cups? Listen, there's an agenda. And there's going to keep on being an agenda. That's why there's a part of me that doesn't want Ole to come back. Because I know this. Because I know as soon as he comes back, they're going to be treating him like he's Ferguson. If he doesn't win 10 games in a row, he's fucked. And he ain't going to win 10 games in a row. These players ain't good enough. Even if he wins 10 games in a row, do you know what they're going to say? Yeah, but they didn't win convincingly. Yeah, but like he's not the long-term guy going forward. Doesn't matter. When you have an agenda, when you're biased, you will find anything to support your argument. You know what I'm saying? Forget these pundits, forget these agendas, forget all this rubbish. Support the guy, support the players, support the team. Yeah? They're not the worst set of bunch, they're not the best set of bunch. These men are coming in for a few months and then we're going to see what Ineos do. We're going to see what the next manager does. Yeah? And I want to see what the next manager does and I want to see the high standards that you're giving basically a 4 or 5 month contract manager. I want to see the same standards and the same level of scrutiny, but I bet you they won't. Come back to this video 6, 7, 8 months later and we'll see if they treat the next guy like the way they're going to treat Ole. Simple. It is what it is. My name's Zogz. Subscribe, like the button, all that things. I'm out.